Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Now folks, if you've been paying attention to the Detroit Lions lately, you already know that the team is in a bit of a crossroads, especially when it comes to their secondary. And the latest news, which just dropped after Monday's practice, is pretty significant. The Lions will be without their starting cornerback, Terrion Arnold, for an extended period. This is not just a minor injury or a short-term setback. This is a real blow to their defensive unit. And it's raising some serious questions about what the Lions need to do to keep their playoff aspirations alive and well. The Lions, as you all know, have been riding high this season. They've been one of the most exciting teams to watch, with Goff leading the charge on offense, and a defense that, despite some inconsistencies, has shown flashes of being really tough. But now, with Arnold sidelined, the secondary looks a little thin. Right now, the only healthy cornerbacks that the Lions can rely on are Rock Ya-Sin, Tree Flowers, Amick Robertson, and Avant Maddox. That's not exactly a deep pool of talent, especially when you consider how competitive the NFC North has become. And let's be honest, depth in the secondary is crucial. You need reliable players who not only can cover but also provide leadership and experience. Without Arnold, the Lions are left with just a handful of options, and it's clear that they need to act fast. This isn't the kind of situation where you can just hope that the guys you have will step up. They need reinforcements, and they need them now. So, what are the options? Well, one thing that's been discussed a lot among Lions fans and NFL analysts alike is the possibility of making a trade before the November 4th deadline. With less than a month to go, GM Brad Holmes has a real opportunity to make a move. Trading for a cornerback could be just what the doctor ordered to shore up that secondary and give the defense a much-needed boost for the stretch run. And of course, the trade market always has some surprises. Teams might be willing to part with some veteran talent to rebuild or reset their rosters, and the Lions could be in a perfect spot to capitalize on that. But of course, trading isn't the only option. The free agent market is another avenue. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Free agency at this point in the season can sometimes be a bit of a gamble. But it's worth noting that there are still some solid names out there, guys who have proven themselves in the league and could step right into the Lions' defensive scheme. Veterans like Kendall Fuller, James Bradbury, and Asante Samuel Jr. are still unsigned and could be options worth exploring. However, the most intriguing name, and perhaps the best fit for Detroit right now, is Stephon Gilmore. Yes, Gilmore, the 5-time Pro Bowler and former Defensive Player of the Year, is available. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, isn't he past his prime? And honestly, it's fair to ask that. Gilmore isn't the shutdown corner he was a few years ago when he helped the Patriots to a Super Bowl victory. His days of dominating receivers one-on-one might be behind him, but what he's brought over the last few seasons is still incredibly valuable. He's been a reliable, versatile, and smart defender, someone who can still make a difference on game day. Last season, Gilmore played with the Minnesota Vikings, starting 15 games, including both matchups against the Lions. He was on the field for about 87% of the team's defensive snaps, which shows how much they depended on him. In those games, he recorded 8 pass breakups and an interception, and while his coverage rating allowed a passer rating of 100. 6, that's not terrible considering the volume of work and the fact that he's now 35 years old. In fact, that grade from Pro Football Focus, 63, 9 overall, may seem modest, but it's actually higher than what Amick Robertson and Terrion Arnold have been producing this season with Detroit. And here's something to consider. Gilmore has been looking for another shot at a Super Bowl. Since leaving New England, he's had stints with the Indianapolis Colts, Dallas Cowboys, and Minnesota Vikings, each time trying to get back to that ultimate goal. The chance to join the Lions, a team with a potent offense and a strong overall record, might be the best opportunity he's had in recent years. The Lions are a team heading in the right direction, and adding a veteran like Gilmore could provide not just immediate help, but also a mentoring presence for the younger cornerbacks. Plus, let's not forget, when you look at his recent performance, Gilmore remains a highly intelligent and technically sound player. He's not the same athlete he was 5 years ago, but his football IQ and experience are still top tier. His ability to read plays, position himself correctly, and make crucial plays in clutch moments is exactly what Detroit needs right now. The Lions' secondary has been exposed at times this season, and adding someone with Gilmore's savvy could be a real game changer, especially in critical moments late in games. Now, some might argue that signing Gilmore might be a gamble, considering his age and the fact that he's not the dominant force he once was. But remember, this isn't about replacing Arnold with a younger, unproven rookie. It's about bringing in someone who can step in immediately and make a difference, someone who can anchor the secondary and help develop the younger players. Gilmore's presence could elevate the entire defensive backfield, making it more cohesive and resilient. And with the Lions' current trajectory, a veteran like him could be just the piece they need to push into the playoffs and beyond. As we look ahead, it's clear that the Lions are at a pivotal point. They've shown resilience, talent, and a real fighting spirit this season, but the injury to Arnold has exposed a vulnerability that needs addressing fast. The clock is ticking, and the team's management knows that every game counts. Whether they decide to make a trade or bring in a seasoned free agent like Gilmore, the goal remains the same: to strengthen the secondary and keep chasing that Super Bowl dream. The NFC North is fierce this year. The Vikings, Packers, and Bears all have their strengths, and Detroit needs to stay ahead of the pack. Adding Gilmore or making a strategic trade move could be what propels them to the next level, giving Jared Goff more confidence and the defense the stability it needs to shut down high-powered offenses. The Lions have built a team that's exciting to watch, and they're not going to settle for just making the playoffs. They want to compete for a championship. And with the right moves in the next few weeks, they could really position themselves as serious contenders. So, Lions fans, keep your eyes peeled. The next few weeks are going to be crucial. Will GM Brad Holmes pull the trigger on a trade? Will he sign a veteran like Gilmore? Whatever happens, one thing is for sure, this team isn't done yet. They're fighting to get better, to go further, and to make history. And you, as a true fan, are right there with them, riding this roller coaster of hope, excitement, and anticipation. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come. Keep the faith, and let's see what the future holds for this incredible team.